I spent 26 months, 24 months in combat, okay? Because I will die for this country. To say fuck America, the country that brought you in 1989, millions and millions of people that if you live in America would trade places with you in a second. If you don't like it, I'm assuming you can move back to Canada. Full disclosure, I voted for Donald Trump. Shut the fuck up and quit bitching. Fuck America. Fuck you, Sebastian. Hey, ordinarily I like to sound all snazzy and I have my, pre-planned intro, welcome to the hair metal guru and all that. But this is going to be something different. I feel like it's important to talk about. And the video, and you probably know from the thumbnail and the title, is going to be about Sebastian Bach, the former lead singer of Skid Row, current solo artist, just put out a fairly recent album called Child Within the Man, and somebody that I absolutely idolized in my younger teenage years. When the Skid Row debut album came out, I was 16 years old. The album came out in 1989. And I've said it before on this channel, and I'll probably say it again. There's not a band that I identified with more than Skid Row throughout 1989 and 1990 and probably into 1991. I absolutely connected to songs like Youth Gone Wild and 18 in Life, and I've said the Slave to the Grind album was my favorite Skid Row album of all time. But Sebastian came out today after the election, when it was announced that Donald Trump won the presidency and will be the 47th president of the United States. And if you follow Sebastian online, on social media, it's no secret that he is very left-wing, very pro-Democrat, which is perfectly fine. That he's allowed to do that. And he can believe whatever he wants. Because even though Sebastian Bach was born, well, I think he was born in Canada. I know he grew up in Canada, was a Canadian citizen. He came to America when he got the offer to join Skid Row, and I think has essentially lived in America since around 1988 or 1989. And after the election announcement, Sebastian came out today, and here are some of his posts from X, Twitter. Number 1, what the fuck is wrong with you people? This place sucks now. I don't want to be here anymore. And finally, to cap it all off, fuck America. And let me just say this. I'm a free speech absolutist. You can say fuck America, and I will stand up for your right to say that. In fact, if you have followed the channel for a little while, you might know I served in the Army National Guard for 22 years, from 1993 to 2015. I deployed for 16 months to Iraq, 4 months in preparation and an actual year overseas, to Iraq at the beginning of Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003. I got activated in January. I didn't get home until April of 2004. It was a life-changing and incredibly difficult year. I deployed again in 2009 to Kosovo, and I was gone for about 11 months from 2009 to 2010. So, I am patriotic, okay? I'm pro-America. Without trying to get, I try to keep my personal or my political beliefs separate from the shit that I do on this channel. I have strong political beliefs, but I do the hair metal guru as an escape. I want people to enjoy coming here and hearing me talk about music, and hopefully, you get some enjoyment from listening to me and guys like Ryan and Brian from the Hairband Basement and Metal Mike and all the guests that come on, because I want this to be something that brings you back to the good times, the 80s, the 90s, when we were listening to what I call the greatest musical generation, the greatest musical genre of all time. But this is hair metal news, and I also do some stuff that's hair metal news. And I think somebody, and I'm sure other people will, but somebody's got to come out and like I said, he can say that. But that is fucked up to say fuck America, the country that brought you in 1989 and turned you from somebody who probably had some, pardon my language, or pardon my fucking itchy nose. And no, I haven't been doing cocaine. I have been drinking some coffee though. But he was a relatively unknown musician, singer in Canada. He gets an opportunity to come to America, and America accepts him with open arms, turns him into a rock star, a rock god at the time. Okay? He was on the cover of every fucking rock magazine. He was on the cover of Rolling Stone. He was selling out concerts. His debut album was Skid Row, went 5 times platinum. His second album was Skid Row, Slave to the Grind, debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. I don't think it's hyperbole to say that there was a point where Sebastian Bach was possibly, if not the biggest, at least one of the biggest rock stars on the planet for a period of time in the late 80s, 1989, early 90s. And that is because America, the freest, the most, the country that you can go from being a nobody, slugging it out on the streets, to becoming a somebody. A wise person once said about America that you can judge a country by how many people are trying to get in versus how many people are trying to leave. And I don't see many people clamoring to leave America. And I need to get my dog. She had to take a piss. Anyway, not many people are trying to leave America. But you know what? Every year there are millions fucking dying to come here. Why? Because America is the greatest, the most free, the most benevolent, the most giving, and the most welcoming country that has ever existed on the face of this planet. Is it perfect? Fuck no. Okay? Does America have horrible things in its past? Yes. Slavery, probably how maybe women were treated in the past, not as equally, minorities not treated as equally. Yes, that is true of America's past. However, people like Sebastian want to make it out to be like America was the only country that was that way. Okay? Like America was the only one that was bringing slaves over. Like America is the only country that treat, didn't give women as many rights as men had. That is complete bullshit. Slavery has existed from the beginning of time. And you know what? It still exists in some countries. And you know what? Not African Americans weren't the only people that were slaves. Every race has been slaves. So that might seem like it's off topic, but I just point that stuff out because I think that there are many people who are misinformed about the history of America. And I'll say this, while every country has had slaves, maybe not every country has had slaves, but while many countries had slaves and didn't have complete equality, it was Great Britain and America who took the lead in order to eradicate slavery in their countries. America and Great Britain. America fought a fucking civil war in the 1860s in order to end slavery. So yes, while America is not perfect and doesn't have a perfect past, it also did more than almost any country to right the wrongs of the past. We fought a civil war. We went through a civil rights movement. People were saying, hey, we need to fix things. And America went out and fixed them. There are countries right now where there are slaves. There are countries right now where women have no rights, where they have to cover up their head. So anyway, I'm making the point that we should not judge America now, or we shouldn't judge America's past by the morals of now. Every place, almost every place, has grown and become different. I've said this. My father was an alcoholic, my stepfather, and an asshole when he first met my mom. Okay, when I was about 6, I hated him when I was younger because he was a drunk and he was mean and you did not want to be around him. But you know what? He quit drinking when he was 40 and became this amazing person. So judging America by the past, that's kind of like, if somebody says, hey, my father, he's actually, he has dementia now. He lives in a home. He's 82. So if somebody said, hey, tell us about your father, I would say that he is an amazing person. He taught me about hard work, about respect, and I would not be anywhere close to the person I am today, whatever I am, without having him as a father. But should I say, well, you know what? Yeah, he did some good stuff, but let's talk about the shitty stuff. No, he changed. He grew. He became a great person, just like America did. So I feel like Sebastian has this fuck America, America's a shitty place attitude, and that is absolutely not the case. In all of my years in the military, I went so many different places besides the wars that I was at. I did training and I did stuff in Kuwait, Korea, Germany, and all over the place, many other countries. And you know what? The one common theme of most of these other countries that I visited was the citizens there oftentimes said, I wish I could leave here and go live in America. Almost everybody else's dream is to live in a free place like America, where you can say what you want, where you have the opportunity to become something, just like Sebastian did. Okay, so there's my little rant about what I think Sebastian thinks about America, that yes, it doesn't have a perfect past. Nobody does. Sebastian doesn't have a perfect past, right? In 1989, he in Springfield, Massachusetts, he got hit in the head by a bottle. Yes, somebody else did it. But he whipped a bottle back into the crowd, broke up some girl's face, right? Should we judge Sebastian just by what he was like in 1989? No, he was probably doing cocaine and drinking, and I was an alcoholic in my early 20s, in the 90s. I hope that when I am judged, that I am not judged by how I acted when I was in my 20s. Just like I hope America isn't judged by how it was in the 1800s. You know, Sebastian Bach has that. Sebastian Bach wore a t-shirt that said AIDS kills fags dead. Should we judge Sebastian by that? No, I don't think we should. Of course not. So, Sebastian Bach has said numerous fucking idiotic things. Sebastian Bach, a lot of people might say he's a fucking douchebag. Okay? And I might be one of them at times. But it's America. He can say what he wants because he's free to. There are many other countries where if he said, fuck the name of the country, where he'd get his ass tossed in jail. Not in America. He can do that. Okay? So, even though he said some of those horrible things, he is still able to make a living going on stage and singing songs. And probably make, I'm assuming, a pretty fairly decent living doing that. He has been on TV shows. He's been on Broadway. He has had amazing things happen to him that many people couldn't even dream of. Shit, you know? I'm a fucking YouTuber and a veteran, and I coach little kids basketball. And I consider myself very fucking lucky to be able to do the shit. I have a house. I own it. You know? I consider myself pretty fucking lucky. I have a car. Okay? I, can go buy food and I don't have to worry about it. You know, I can afford to do that because I worked hard and made a living for myself. And, you know, so I consider myself very lucky to live in a place where I, a recovering alcoholic who had nothing when I was 30 years old in 2002 and was barely working and was drinking myself to death, I was able to quit drinking and amass a pretty good life. In America, at the age of 31, after I got home from Iraq, I was able to go back to college and I got a degree. I was able to take out student loans and do that. I think anybody in America, if they have a decent work ethic, is able to do what I did. I am not fucking brilliant. I'm a semi-decent, smart guy. You know, I read a lot when I was a kid. I think I'm well-spoken, but I'm not a genius at anything. Well, maybe hair metal, okay? But when I got back from Iraq, luckily Iraq taught me that if I work hard, I can survive and I succeed. And I did that. I went back to college. I got a college degree at 33 years old. I got a teaching degree. I taught high school English for 12 years because I worked hard and America allowed me to do that. Okay? I got a master's degree because in America, I could do that. I was a teacher. I now coach basketball. I work hard to become successful. No, America, I don't think America should just pay you to sit on your ass at home. I think you should work hard to do those things. And if you are willing to work hard, you can succeed. Sebastian, I'm assuming, considers himself to be a hard worker who has done numerous successful things. Good for you, Sebastian. I don't begrudge you any of the success you've had. But fuck America. Fuck America. Because you didn't get your way. You know what? I probably, you know, if you follow the channel, a lot of soldiers probably lean more right. conservative than left liberal. But there are many liberal soldiers. There are many conservative soldiers. In the past, I've considered myself more liberal at times, and I've also considered myself more conservative at times. I understand why some people don't like Donald Trump. I get it, okay? Full disclosure, I voted for Donald Trump, okay? And if you follow the channel, you probably gathered that I'm a little bit more conservative than liberal, okay? I hope that I have liberal fans of this show, and I welcome you, and I hope that I probably have some conservative fans on the show. I do not hate liberals at all. I get why some people don't like Donald Trump. There are things about Donald Trump that I do not like, okay? And there were things about Kamala Harris that I did not like. But we survived Kamala Harris, and we had 4 fucking years of Donald Trump. And you know what? All the horrible shit that people say that he's gonna do, he didn't do it the first time. And you know what? Before he became president, nobody was calling him a racist, horrible, asshole person. A lot of people thought he was a pretty good guy. A lot of people said that he tried to help the African American community. There are a lot of African Americans that vote for Donald Trump. And I don't want to turn this into a big political video. This video is not to separate liberals from conservatives, but it is to proclaim that I think America is fucking awesome. Perfect? No. But more people are trying to come here than trying to leave, and there's got to be a reason for that. And Sebastian, you will survive the next 4 years of Donald Trump, just like people who hate Kamala Harris survive, or Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they survived the last 4 years. You will be okay. Okay? And if I have to say what you know, I'm sure a lot of other people have said, if you don't like it, I'm assuming you can move back to Canada. Okay? If there's another place that is so fucking great and America is so fucking horrible and you think you won't survive with Trump as your president, go live there. Okay? Go live there. I stayed in America for I stayed in America for Kamala. I'm fine. I'll stay in America for Trump. I'll be fine. You will be fine. But you know what? You I think, have become so fucking entitled. Okay? You were a rock star at like 18, 19 years old. And I think, and you were probably a rock star even before that, even though you weren't big time. You were still, playing clubs and having everybody love you in Canada, that I think you have just gotten to the point where you're not used to being told no. You're used to kind of getting your fucking way. Well, you know what? Sometimes you don't get your way. And, you can throw a fit. You can say, fuck America. You can do all that shit. You can whine like a little bitch that you do frequently online. Okay? You sound like how old are you? 55, 56? I'm assuming I'm 52. Okay? And I'm assuming you're 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years older than I am. And you sound like a whiny fucking bitch. Okay? Shut the fuck up. I mean, it's almost funny. Shut the fuck up and quit bitching. Okay? You survived before. You'll survive again. My God. It's so easy to see why Skid Row wants nothing to do with him. I don't know the guys in Skid Row. Have I met Sebastian Bach? I have. Nothing more than a hey after a concert, got to shake your hand, say some nice things. And like I said, I grew up fucking loving you. But you sound like a whiny old lady, old bitch now. Okay? Fuck America. Fuck you, Sebastian. Go somewhere else. And hey, go make your living. You're so awesome. Go never play concerts here anymore. We will be fine. Okay? I won't go get it. I have your fucking new CD. You know, I knew that you and I probably disagreed on a lot of things, but I was also like, you know what? Give him the benefit of the doubt. You grew up loving his music. Give him a chance. You know what? I so regret that. And I know you don't need my money. You'll be fine without my sales. I will never go see another Sebastian Bach concert. Okay? I put my life on the line. Okay? And even if America, you know, I spent 26 months, 24 months in combat. Okay? Because I will die for this country. What will you do, Sebastian? Will you just bitch about it? Fuck America. But America has spoken now. And you know what? Live with it. Deal with it. And if you don't want to, fucking leave. And I know I'm probably getting repetitive, but it pisses me off. People who act like that. Fuck America. Fuck you, Sebastian. Okay? Fuck you. I would love for you to respond. I know he won't, because he's a whiny little bitch who doesn't want to be challenged. Okay? And again, fine. You do you. But I'm not going to sit silent and let somebody who has done nothing but use America to his benefit. All the money that you've made, all the fame, the fortune, the adoration that you get from people, including people like myself in the past, you got that because you live in a place that will allow you to succeed like that, a place that you can go from nothing to something. You know, in a way, I feel like I went from nothing to something. I was a broken down alcoholic who spent 15 to 20 hours working at a bar while I drank my life away. And in America, I went from that to becoming a teacher. I became an army officer, if I toot my own horn, fairly decorated army officer. Now I run a YouTube channel that, you know, it's pretty small, but I think it's pretty awesome. 3,000 people subscribe to this channel, you know? And I never thought that would happen. But I can do that here in America. You know, it's fucking amazing. So, I know I'm rambling. I appreciate you guys. I realize that there may be people that are upset with this video, okay? And you're allowed to be. And I, you know, if you follow the channel and have enjoyed what I do, I hope that, you know, you don't bail on the channel and leave and not subscribe and not watch my shit anymore. But if you do, I'm sorry. I feel like this needs to be said. I would rather you stayed and just said, hey, you know what? He has different beliefs than I do. Okay? And that's okay. And, you know, I don't hate people who believe differently than I do. This is America. You can believe differently. So I hope that you'll stay with me. But if not, it's okay. If you don't, you know, unsubscribe, don't watch anymore, you're free to do that. Okay? Because this is the greatest country ever. So, but you know what? If you hate America, if you really, if Donald Trump being president makes you hate America and hate people like me who voted for him, well, you know, then maybe you shouldn't subscribe. Maybe you shouldn't watch. Cause damn it, if you hate America, that's fucked up. It really is. Okay? It's not perfect, but there are a million people, millions and millions of people that if you live in America would trade places with you in a second. And I'll try not to rant too much longer. When I was in Iraq, there were little kids who their life was on like walking the roads trying to sell cigarettes to soldiers. You know, they lived in dirt huts. They didn't have air conditioning and shit, you know, and they would, you know, beg us for money. And I used to save the candy that I would get like in my little MRE meals, and I would give them to these kids, and they would say America. And they love fucking Michael Jackson. They'd be like, I want to come to America. Michael Jackson, soldier, GI, take me home. And you know, so you live in the greatest place ever. And if you hate it so much, please leave. Make room for somebody else. I'm out.